Yes, we have a bit of a task right now.
I would like
Black Test.
Black Test, baby.
First,
Spikes to the wall.
First, we're going to go through and you guys give your shout-outs too. I'm going to give out 2. Okay.
Okay.
You said your daughter.
Okay.
And we're happy, right?
Only my wife.
Shout out time.
Shout out time.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for letting me out tonight, honey.
Yeah, love you, baby.
Not me. Not me.
I'm giving a shout out to my wife Carolyn and my family and my mother down in Florida, having a great time. Niece, nephews, all my fans. I have no fan. What, are you kidding me? No, but thank you. Having a great time here.
Give a shout out to my wife Carol, my kids Gianna and Gary Jr. G3PO.
Thought that was a beer you had for a second. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna drink.
I'm just gonna drink my beer and just look right at you like this, and hopefully they're watching.
My little girl, my big girl, you know your names, you know your daddy. Thanks for letting me out.
Gotta say hello to my wife.
And new baby.
My beautiful daughter Marissa, my beautiful daughter Jenna, my handsome young man Kai, and my baby girl Ray Ray.
How old is Ray right now? How old?
Ray Ray is almost 3 months.
3 months. Boy, he's been 3 months right now.
This is an evil thrash room right now.
Yeah, we're thrashing right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Curry King's gonna come.
Yeah, is there any,
no, be meaner. That's not Curry King. No,
Piper
stop.
or Pediasure companies, they want to come our way and help us out.
Well, speaking of diapers, or we're not going to talk about diapers, but I'd like to talk about diapers. Instead, we're going to talk about Black Task.
There you go.
Instead of diapers. So,
Jim Trub, my man.
Warren Appleby.
Was this a local metal?
Yeah.
Local,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Were they thrash like
Steve
a
Christensen.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely thrash.
Thrash metal.
They had a real Venom Celtic Frost vibe about them, and they did this EP on vinyl that they did themselves and they paid for themselves, and it was like
Unbelievable.
it was only 4 songs, and
Old
it was
school.
That was a lot more expensive to do back then than now. I take it, what with a little thing called reel-to-reel being the only way to do it.
Right. So they managed to get this demo done, and they made enough copies that they could play shows and sell it. And there was a place that was really influential in Philadelphia and crucial for us on Bustleton Avenue. It was called the Record Cellar.
Yep,
and it sold vinyl records. And if you made one, you could take it in there and ask the dude to sell them. Just like any other place would sell demos over cassettes, we got some copies of our record sent there. So that's how we got our management, because it was such an influential place that if you were looking to sign an act, you would check to see whose local records were selling at the record cellar. And if they were selling a lot, then you could be interested in that group. And Black Test was one of those bands that put that stuff around and showed us how to do that. And this 4-song album was just brilliant. And recently we were covering a song from it still. It was a buzzsaw, Venom kind, and nobody was doing that. It was before, you come out of your Judas Priest, Iron Maiden stage, and then you're hit with Metallica and Venom and Motorhead and
Rip Ride!
Yeah, and you don't know what to do. And then you meet these guys who have these denim vests on at the mall, and you're like, you guys know about this too? And they're like, yeah, and we're in a band, and we're gonna do Kill Your Enemies and Firestorm. We're like, yeah. Then we go and see them and their demo, and it's just Sex and Destruction. It's just killing, and it reminds you of Venom. Like, these guys are really doing this. So then we did some shows at the Empire Rock Club, and always opening for Black Test 3 in a row. That Mother's Day '85 was the middle one. But by the time we got to June 9th, 1985, we had done 3, and all those people in that crowd, 400, 500, whatever regulars, all teenagers, just grew up, and we kept playing, and they kept coming, and we kept playing, and they kept coming, and Black Test was the huge centerpiece of that, playing, because we opened up. They were the headliners. They came out, and the singer introduced us, and we were doing covers. We did the Four Horsemen, and Warren came out and sang the chorus of the Four Horsemen by Metallica. It was awesome.
Bonded by blood.
Whoever thought you'd be better at turning a screw than me, I'd do it for my life.
That's right, my version is better. That's right.
Now I can't separate my teeth. What do you mean I don't go to the dentist? Just take a real close look at this video.
That's good. We love you, Dave.
Dave, we love you, man.
I got to meet Dave Mustaine in '94 backstage. That was '95. That was the highlight of my teenage years. So
I'm telling you, when we saw him with Slayer, they were shredding. BC Rich was awesome.
I got pictures from that show. Photo album.
Wowzers.
Blew me away.
All right, so after the band broke up, were you guys all still in contact with each other?
Yeah, in fact,
absolutely.
these guys were roommates in an apartment.
Yeah.
It was like,
We were all roommates.
but the three of us, Chuck and me and Dave, were in Dominance. So we're in a band, and Gary's living at the same apartment as Dave, and then
I was in a band too.
and he was in a band called Without Warning from New
Yes.
Jersey.
Excellent.
And
More
what?
of like a Bay Area style thrash band.
Oh, okay. So you,
Kind of testimony.
Great guitar virtuosity in that band.
Absolutely.
It was
Guys
definitely
really
those
good.
guys. Woo, they could play.
right. So I guess when it came down to reforming the band, it probably seemed like a natural decision by that point, because you were all still making music and in some ways together anyway. So it was more of a matter of hey, you want to jump in by now.
Exactly. Once the outside influences go away, all the other stuff comes back. It's just that kind of ulterior motive kind of stuff. It definitely derails you if you let it. But if it's gone, there's no problem ever.
Yeah. And in 2003, Rise to Offend got re-released. Is that right?
So I hear. We don't know.
I don't know about that.
It's not like we're in the loop.
Fine. I'm wondering if for kids to get their hands on it now, would they have to go right to downloading or right from you guys at a show, or is that
Probably
Tell
eBay.
iTunes.
Yeah, we signed up for iTunes and sent us a
So on
form,
iTunes,
right?
people
And
can get it on iTunes.
there you go.
Okay. Right. So now, Sanctify. What your latest? When was that? Was that
It was 08,
08? Okay.
fall of 08.
Right. Was that mostly like written right after you guys reformed? Was that a lot of stuff that had been sort of lying over to that?
Excellent question. A little mix of both. Pretty much 75% new, just brand new. Because if you're going to play live, you have to have new stuff, right? So it's an
Yep.
impetus. If you're going to get together and do anything, it's best to have, like a snapshot of where you are now. So you do that, and if your mindset is back when you were having fun doing it, it should come naturally that you make new music that's just as good as the old music. And then you include stuff that people haven't heard before, which the song Emperor of Lies on Sanctify, it's a 6-song demo, is from 1986. We did it live. We did it when we opened for Motorhead. In fact, it's based on a Motorhead song. It's a line from Orgasmatron. I am the Emperor of Lies. You grovel at my feet. Yeah, exactly. So that's on our demo, which is from 25 years ago. But the other stuff is all new.
Okay. Do you have anything new on the horizon? Like any plans to put out a new full length or?
We're recording one right now. Securing everything else that goes with it is yet to be decided, but we need to put a product together, so we are.
Okay, so when it comes to writing, like you take into account all the stuff that might have happened in metal or just heavy music in general, like hardcore, since Rise to Offend came out. Do you guys have a lot of newer influences or '90s influences when it comes to writing new stuff, or you already not even think about it that much? It's a good riff. Or
Right, you're not, because the '90s stuff. And if you're talking about like Seattle and Soundgarden,
no, I mean like Machine Head.
Oh yeah,
like
dude, Chuck is hugely influenced by Machine Head. Rob Flynn is awesome.
Yeah,
and yeah, you're
Rob's-
right. They're an excellent '90s band.
and like and I guess they're actually still pretty big right now. But then like other great records in the '90s, like Demanufacture, Far Beyond
Absolutely.
Driven,
Fear Factory. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chaos AD, like
War is created.
there's a lot of that stuff, like that lot of that stuff, and then maybe newer stuff after that, like Lamb of God. Do those influences come in?
Chucky turned me on to Lamb of God. Chucky gives me the future of music. He turned me on to System of a Down before I heard of them, and right away. And then he turned me on to Lamb of God, and he gave me the one with Omerta.
Great,
And now
great stuff.
you've got something to die for. What's that album called?
That's the third record they did under that name.
Burn the pal.
Ashes of the Wake.
Ashes, yeah, that might be
Yeah,
Ashes of the Wake.
I think it's Ashes of the Wake.
Is it Alberta that has that ridiculous spoken word part in the beginning, like whoever says it
Yes,
to his
yes.
brother is.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's
I had that song on the record. I remember that part.
that's heavy.
Okay, so yeah, but I guess people would. It's still at the end of the day, the music is still definitely old school thrash. From what I'm
Right,
hearing.
because we're of that age. So anything new comes already on a template that's already there, which is easily traceable. You can go to it anytime you want. It's automatic.
Yep. Yeah, I went to see Testament, Anthrax, and Death Angel, the Electric Factory, a little while ago. Yeah, I would say it was a great show, but I mean, see some stuff like and I had followed both those bands in the '90s, not really Death Angel,
Right.
but I mean that's more where I'm from. I remember I was huge into Anthrax when they had John Bush singing, and I love Testament when they had James Murphy on guitar.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's
The low. All that stuff, right?
Low in the Gathering. I think those are probably their best records.
Yes.
Now Anthrax,
Definitely.
they don't play any of the John Bush material live. I don't really blame them because Joey Belladonna trying to sing John Bush is
It's not going to work.
yes, exactly.
But Only is an awesome song.
Only is an awesome song. I love all those records, but I heard Joey Belladonna try to sing Only once, and I understand why he's not trying to sing it again. And then I was really surprised, though. I mean, Testament didn't play any James Murphy stuff. Or they play one song from The Gathering, but mainly they stuck to the 80s. They stuck to the new record. They stuck to the Skolnick material. It's like, I'm noticing like the kids, there are more kids who are into this style of music now than there were when I was growing up, but they definitely seem to identify it with that era, the 80s. And,
Chris
Eddie's
Alexander. Chris Alexander.
They do. We Chris Alexander from California.
Chris Alexander's on. And
That's
so
your boy.
So is John Barrica.
John
So-
Barrica.
Johnny!
John.
What's up, John?
Chris Alexander wants to hear a Cinderella story.
Cinderella story. What? Okay.
The one we played on Thursday night.
We did
When we,
open for Cinderella.
we
at
opened
Empire
up
Rock
for
Club.
Cinderella.
Oh wait, no, Chris wants to know about the.
Are you going to tell us a
played
funny story
with-
about
we
Cinderella?
We opened up for Cinderella. It was on a Thursday night.
That was the night that Chris McFadden played with us.
Yes.
See, Chris Alexander is friends with Chris McFadden, who's friends with Dave Carr, and they all grew up in Take It Away, Dave.
Point Pleasant, PA.
There you go.
Doylestown, PA.
And John Verke is an awesome journalist who I went to college with. John,
Johnny.
you're the best.
Hey, John.
Thanks for watching.
The Cinderella crowd wasn't
John is
quite
awesome.
ready for
Now,
what we
the
were
Cinderella
ready
crowd didn't know what to do with us. But, that's history. That night I heard John Bon Jovi was in the audience, and that's where they got signed.
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't know. I'm sure
they-
Donnie Einer was up there going, who the hell's Anvil,
Yeah,
bitch?
because we're all thrash heads, and they were arena ready, and we weren't.
We weren't. We definitely weren't.
We found ourselves on that bill. We were like, oh, these guys are going somewhere.
It seems like an odd pairing. It seems like fans of Cinderella. I own that record. My guitar teacher played 3 solos on it. So that's the only reason why I got that record. I don't remember anything about the record
You were either
other than
glam or
that.
you were glam back then.
Exactly.
There was no middle of the road, believe me.
The thing was, back in that day, you had the Galaxy, you know what I mean? There was a scene, and then the Empire...
Marsden, freaking Airport
This,
Football.
there's a documentary coming out called, All Ages Sunday.
Trying to come out.
Trying to come out. There's a guy who's put this together, and he's got all these bands together, and he doesn't have anything about us on there.
We used to sneak in the bathroom.
Who's doing this? Who's doing this?
I have no
It's
idea
not
what his name
Ratskates, is it?
No, Rad Skates has a really cool thing going. This thing he put together with Overkill, how they started out and
It is
everything.
Blood metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the whole thing with the all ages thing, they talk about all these bands like the glam rock bands that started it. But when we played there on Sunday nights, we were packed the place.
See, Thursday nights was over 21. This is basically an over 21 attending movie. Although big acts did play on there Sundays from all different genres of metal.
But so
we
what
were a
exactly is
Sundays
this
band.
movie about? Like someone's trying to make a movie about
About the
that
documentary
scene.
of the whole scene.
That
back
scene.
in that
all ages
day.
shows in Philly back in the day.
At that
Exactly.
particular place.
They're concentrating on glam.
Well, that's because if
I
we're
hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not, because that was definitely.
well, we're not in it. But we had a big like next to Robert Hazard and Hooters and Tommy Conwell. We had this thing on the wall. We got pictures taken in front of it because we practiced there on Monday and Tuesday nights. But we were a Sunday night band. We were an all ages band. We were a pit band. We were a stage diving band.
That place-
We were a merchandise selling band. Thursday nights, take it away, guys.
Yeah,
That place was very, very close to being converted to a sports bar by the manager. He did not want a rock club. He wanted a sports bar. And, there were a couple of bartenders that worked there. Talked them into the Thursday nights with the metal, and it was clipping along with that. But I guess he still was trying to convince them that the numbers were poor or whatever. Then they, again, suggested all ages Sundays. There was, maybe 5, 6 all age Sundays before we played. The weekend before or the Thursday before we played, we opened for a band called Buff the Musket.
Buff the Musket.
Dave has pictures of this. This is like our audition on a Thursday night.
And they were very close to succeeding in shutting this place down. And this woman named Lori Gallagher put us in there because it was like a last-minute thing. It was just a Thursday night fill-in before the Sunday. And he pretty much let her know that, this Sunday doesn't work out. It's just making it easier for him to make it a sports bar.
Yeah.
And there were previous Sundays before us, but the problem was they were Thursday night over 21 bands. So they all drew poorly. I mean, there were good bands on Thursdays, and there were bands like Metal Wolf and things like that.
Tease.
As soon as they would come into to the door and say, no alcohol, they would just leave. So it was very,
all
very
their fans
close.
were over 21,
Right.
but all our fans were our age.
So the difference between our show and theirs were that we did the proper thing. We destroyed all the high schools with flyers and
Concerts at the Spectrum.
and appearing, just walking
we
through.
would go to the shows down at the
We would
at the
go
Spectrum
to
and
all
hand
the
out
record
flyers,
stores,
everything.
and everybody knows back then if you wanted to find all the really cool metal stuff, you went to the miscellaneous lettered sections.
Yep,
So we
that's
just
where it
filled them with flyers and just mobbed. We saturated the entire city.
And every show at the Spectrum, we would go down there with thousands and case out each exit, and just boom, boom, boom.
Okay. But what I'm trying to get at is, we got out there and we opened for this band, and the manager just came out and looked at us, and other than Slayer on a Thursday night, they never seen anything like that before. So everybody was just stuck on it, and we were just killing it. We actually opened with "Bonded by Blood" from
By Exodus. Yep.
So I mean, it was pretty much a punch in the face as soon as we came out, and the manager just pretty much let Lori know this is going to be easy. These people are what you were depending on this Sunday. They never seen anything like that, and obviously they just treated it really poorly.
Dismissive is the word I would use.
Because that Sunday came, and that place was like a sardine can. You couldn't move.
Couldn't move.
But they were all under 21.
Yeah, and we
Exactly.
they realized that we had something there.
And this, we played at FDR Park in the fall, down under 95, and it's a similar vibe. And they're the same age as we were then. And there's a girl that I work with. I don't want to call her a girl. She's a young lady who's over 21, but not that much over 21, so she's very young. And she tells me that if you look at a parking lot from 1985 and the people in it, and then you look at one now, a heavy metal parking lot.
Yeah, I got my
look at
copy
one
that's
now.
signed by Rob Halford, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
They look the same. That age, but the people are the same age as they were then, but they're different people, right?
Exactly.
But it's very familiar.
Exactly.
And that when we played in front of people that age, you can tell that they're into it, and we're giving them what they expect because that's what they got into, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what we give them.
There's a promoter here. He's here tonight. His name's Keith Carney. He put the show together.
He runs the Fallout zine.
He is
Hype
in
the Fallout
touch with the
zine.
kids, the underground scene. I mean, he knows how to put a show together.
He brought Whiplash to the bar.
Yeah, we played a
with
show with Whiplash, Morbid Saint, who
Condition
else?
Critical.
Condition Critical. them
Midnight
guys
Midnight
rock.
Hellion.
And there was like almost 250 people in the Barbary, so it was packed. I mean, the guy's in touch with the kids, and that's what you need in this kind of music.
And they're way into it, which is cool. And they
Yeah,
know their
exactly.
stuff. They know their stuff.
They
Now,
know their stuff.
We got some questions. People talk about when you open up for Motorhead. We had some people asking what it was like, and do you have any Lemmy stories?
As a matter of fact, we do.
There you go.
Oh yeah, take it, John.
Well, no, let Dave tell his.
I met Lemmy backstage, and I said, "Hey, Lemmy, we were a young band. We didn't have shit in our rider. We just had an empty room with some empty drum cases and stuff. But they had fully stocked beer, deli platter, and everything. So we're out there talking. Lemmy was very chattery at this time, very chattery. And he was talking, and I said, "Lemmy, you guys got any extra beer back there?" And he says, extra beer? There's no fucking such thing as extra beer, mate. He turns around, walks into his room, and I thought to myself, what a dick, you know? And he comes back out with a bucket, like 10 beers. I got my beers, I got plenty of my beers. And he handed me, I was like, oh, fucking hey, man. So
and we got t-shirts. Having Lemmy hand you a t-shirt.
Yeah, I still have my Orgasmatron t-shirt. We traded. We gave him an Anvil bitch t-shirt. He gave
Was this right when that came out?
Orgasmatron tour, yeah.
86.
Yep.
Down.
But you know what? It was post Pete Gill. It was when Filthy came back. Filthy was there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Got my pictures taken with them all. Yeah, they were really cool dudes.
And my story is this aforementioned song, which is on our demo. This is a legendary song. It's called Emperor of Lies, which comes from Orgasmatron. Yeah. So we play that song, I think, last that show. And you know, union rules, they post when you're supposed to play and when you're supposed to stop. So our time was posted on the wall. So we are playing this song, hence going over our time. So it wasn't a stagehand that came to correct me about this. It was Lemmy. So we get off the stage and I'm taking my guitar off and he comes over and he goes, you know, I've been done worse than this by better men than you. And, I was like, wow. Lemmy is yelling at me. And I said, the only thing I can think of in my defense is, do you realize that this last song that we played is titled Emperor of Lies? And it was inspired by your song Orgasmatron. And it's about a guy in the 1950s named Eugene McCarthy, who was trying to name names and get people to cop to being communists. And it was like a witch trial kind of thing.
Secret whore.
So right, exactly. So I lay that on him, and he considers again about yelling at me, and I think I got let off the hook by saying it's about you inspired it, so he had to listen to me.
You dedicated that song to him before we played it.
Yeah, but then after we went over, it was a whole different scene.
As we were playing, I looked over and he was standing there.
Yo, John, tell him the story about when we were in Foundations Forum, man.
Oh, this is classic. This is classic Lemmy stuff. We're in California.